Hello everybody, and welcome back to the Nate the Great Show. Today we have a very special one for you, the Twilight Zone Season 1 review. Obviously I'm going to talk about the whole season as a whole, and then I'm going to break it down to 10 episodes that I think you should watch right now. Because this whole series, all 5 seasons of it, are all on Netflix. So if you have Netflix, go watch it. Now you're probably wondering, what the heck is the Twilight Zone? Well, I'll tell you. The Twilight Zone is a very old anthology series created by Rod Sterling, and he's also the narrator. It first premiered in 1959. It's an anthology series, so it's kind of like American Horror Story with seasons, or maybe the Black Mirror on Netflix, where characters and plot elements do not carry over into the next episode or season. Every episode, it's its own story with new characters. Each episode follows one or a group of people through a supernatural element, and along the way tells an important story about life or morals. Puts a really weird twist on how stories are told. It gives a really weird twist on how horror and science fiction and suspense and thrillers should be told. I think it's very, very interesting, and I hope you guys watch it as well. I think season 1 as a whole is a very, very solid first season. Obviously, being an anthology series, there's no story over the long course of each episode, but I understood what the point of the Twilight Zone was, is to give a moral story about life in a supernatural and science fictional way. I guess by this time you really want to know my rankings of the 10 best episodes out of the 36, and these episodes are basically just episodes that I really, really want you to watch if you're really bored. If you have like 20 minutes, 30 minutes to spare, just watch one of these episodes because they are really, really good at storytelling, and the people behind these certain episodes are very, very talented and creative. So number 1, we have The Fever. The Fever is a very, very interesting one, and is actually the creepiest one in this season. At least I think so. It's about this guy that gets obsessed with playing slot machines at Las Vegas, and he loses his life savings and then realizes the machine wants more than just his money. So it's just crazy. It's really creepy, and I suggest you guys watch that episode. At number 9, we have The Hitchhiker. It follows this woman on a long distance trip on the road, and at every stop and every now and then on the road, she sees the same guy wanting to be hitchhiked. So it's very, very interesting. I think it's very cool. No matter where she goes, this guy's keep on following him. At number 8, we have Time Enough at Last. This one, to people, will probably be super, super boring. I understand. I was kind of bored during this episode, but it really intrigued me. It's about this guy who loves reading, and his wife hates reading. She hates that her husband is reading things over and over again and reading all these types of books. So, at his job, this dude is reading, and there's a nuclear bomb that goes off and kills everybody and burns everything except books. So this guy now has enough time and enough patience and enough resources to read all these books. It's actually like very interesting to watch. At number 7, we have One for the Angels. Again, this is probably an episode that people wouldn't necessarily like to watch, but it's about this dude that is greeted by death, embodiment of death. It's crazy. Death comes up to him, he's like, alright, you're going to die at midnight tonight. So this guy is like, no, don't take me. Just take somebody else, like not me. So Death goes and finds this little girl to kill at midnight, and then it's very interesting. Number 6, we have Where's everybody? A guy finds himself at a town where there is no one. There's no one there except mannequins. And it's actually pretty cool. Like, you find somebody actually content with his life and then slowly descend into madness because he's so lonely where there is literally no one except mannequins. So it's pretty interesting to watch that. At number 5, just like number 6, it's about a lonely guy called The Lonely. A convict living alone in an asteroid receives a realistic woman robot. His interaction, a serial killer that finds loneliness on this asteroid, finds somebody that he can relate to. So I think it's very cool. At number 4, we have Monsters Are Due on Maple Street. Monsters Are Due on Maple Street. It's a really long title, but it's a really cool one. It's really cool, and it shows how much we are as a society, even back then, are reliant on electricity, and it just shows how fast we are to just blame stuff on other people, except thinking through it and trying to work out a problem. At number 3, we have I Shot an Arrow into the Sky. This one's crazy. Like, it's about astronauts, 3 astronauts that shoot up into the sky and then crash land, and 2 of them die, and this guy finally makes like a realization that they are not where they think they are. Number 2, we have A Nice Place to Visit. This one really intrigued me. This one was so cool to watch because it was one of those where you could kind of see where it was going, but again, like, you wanted to see how it was played out. So it's about this serial killer that's finally killed by the cops, but he ends up in this kind of place where he gets everything that he wants. Like, he gets money, he gets girls, he gets success. There's a person that follows him around and gives him everything, kind of like a genie, and then he slowly becomes bored, and he's like, all right, I can't take this anymore, I don't want to deal with this. Of course, at the end, there's a twist ending. The number 1 episode that you need to watch is called Walking Distance. I'm going to just read you the synopsis. When businessman Martin visits his hometown, he discovers he's traveled 25 years into the past and has a disturbing encounter with himself as a boy. It's so crazy. It's so crazy because you just watch as this guy, a jaded businessman, comes back to his hometown to find himself and find his parents 25 years into the past. And it's just crazy how he just realizes everything. It's not sad, but it's a wake-up call for people to just not think about the future so much and think about the past and all these memories. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm glad that you guys have watched this episode, and hopefully I've intrigued you to go watch many of these episodes that I just told you about, or actually watch the whole entire season or series. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.